Hey, what's up? What's
How
up?
we
What's
do?
up?
Look at you, man. You look good. You
Look
look
at
good during the
look,
Emmys.
look at me. Hey, you see how sharp I was? Man, come on now. Come on now.
You
Don't let
look
me
good.
on now. Hey, your suit should fit like a turtleneck that hugs your body, you know? Like a
Well,
fitted suit should look like you're wearing a turtleneck, like a one piece. You know?
yeah, and here I am wearing a football jersey, so I'm definitely underdressed for this, JB. I'm sorry, man. It's a Detroit thing. We're proud of the Lions.
You're too loose. If you're gonna wear that, put shoulder pads
Yeah.
on.
All
You know?
right. Well, I'm trying to get some shoulders back. I lost some weight, so I'm working on that, man. So, are you excited about coming to Detroit on Sunday? Are you excited
Um,
about this?
You know I love the D, man. Come on, man. The Detroit is like that's like, man, look, people have certain homes, they say because they go where they are welcome at. And Detroit has always been so welcoming to me that I consider it one of my favorite cities in the world. So it's right there.
W- We gravitate to people who work hard. I think because the birthplace of middle class to blue collar, and you from
Right.
day one, you're a hardworking dude. You've always been that way, even before Curb.
I appreciate that. I could have been an auto worker out there. I really could have fit right in and then transition into comedy, really put a
So
home.
I was thinking about you because we'll talk about Curb a little bit, obviously, but we're past that. But something I've always wondered: were you a joke teller as a kid or a storyteller as a kid to make people laugh?
No, I was a guy that created controlled chaos, where I can, I just would be I'm like the life of the party. The life of the party guy, the guy who was who was standing on a table with a lampshade on his head type of dude, spill something purposely on you or just do something crazy. Or the first person to dance at a party. I was that dude. Party starter.
So, how are you like around the family and stuff? Did you have someone who kind of pushed you to you need to keep doing this, or you always kind of work the room?
I just got lucky and had a funny family. My mama funny. My mom is funny. My brother's also a comedian. His name is Pink Floyd. I got funny. I just got lucky around some really funny people who would never do what I do, but are very, very funny. They do funny things and thus become great stories. And my family is hilarious. My family reunion is like a free fall. Everybody's going for theirs. Everybody thinks they're funnier than the other person. And everyone, a lot of my cousins could have easily have been comedians.
There are two comedians that you remind me of, and it's Peter Sellers and Bernie Mac, because you make a meal out of scenes. You make a meal out of scenes when you're in them. When you're in them, JB, that's who you are to me.
You know what? That's the perfect. You morph those two guys together, like you morph them together, like put them in a bowl and stir them up, like and you add some little ingredients here and there. But yeah, that's a jambalaya or or amazing stew.
Okay.
And those are two of my faves also. Peter Sellers is one of my faves, and Bernie Mac is one of my faves also. And I was on tour with him a few times. Yeah, he's
Really?
absolutely amazing, amazing man. He was absolutely amazing. Yes, indeed.
So, but you look so comfortable when you're doing comedy on stage. It's not like you're trying to get 30 jokes in an hour, or you're not like Mitch Hedberg racing through a set. You make a meal out of everything when you're on stage. Have you always been that way?
Always been that way. They used to call me the milkman. The
I
milk
remember that.
a joke, milk it. I just get all of it. I get all of it. I grab those udders and I just keep milking that cow. And yeah, I think that's what puts you in a moment with people and it doesn't seem so robotic. I literally write on stage. So for me, every show is a little different because I'm basing it off of what you love. That particular audience loves that night. So every audience has different ears and every bit hits different. So I kind of just craft it based on who I'm in front of, which makes me laugh because I'm saying something for the first time and they're hearing something for the first time that a lot of times I can't even repeat it because I can't match the moment and I can't match the people. I can't choose who comes to the show, so I can't match that same energy. Some things only happen once, you know.
Well, it's always like we do classic rock here in the Jay Giles band. The guy does this one thing where he has this whole thing about reputed abuse us, then on your ladder from the ladder of love, and he has this whole rant.
Yeah,
And Kid Rock said, "Hey, I want you to do that again on stage." And he went, I don't know what the hell I said, but I can try." And he was trying to write it down, and he couldn't do it. Are
we
you the
can't do
same
it,
way? Just that stream of consciousness, it just goes.
man. That's how it works sometimes, and it puts you in the moment with people, and it becomes really personal, and it just becomes this thing. And you can feel it in the room, and they feel it too. And they'll just, because I'll stop sometimes and I'll just laugh because I say, man, I gotta write that one down or whatever. But I just say something. Some once in a while, I'll say something, but normally I just kind of let it go, and it becomes that moment. And like I said, sometimes it doesn't happen again. Lightning doesn't strike the same way, you know. So it
So
makes it
you're
fun.
active, but you're listening to the crowd while you're on stage.
Yeah, people think comedians just speak over and over again.
Right.
We
Yeah.
really have to listen to what our audience, that particular audience, wants to hear from us. You know, because every audience is different. Even in the same city, I've done clubs where I'm doing 4 shows a weekend, and literally every one of those audiences was different. They laughed at different things, even though the same city. Just that group of people that were together in that one moment, they just created this atmosphere that was different from the next show, and then the show on Saturday, 2 shows on Saturday. But it's just different.
Sunday, you're here at Motor City Casino Soundboard, soundboarddetroit.com for tickets. It's a great venue too. It's a great venue.
Oh man,
Great
it's
venue,
amazing.
man.
Twice, I love it. Absolutely love it.
I was thinking about you when I watched you walking out with the Emmys, and I've always been told this story that Curb Enthusiasm, you came on season 6. Everyone, I've always thought that every other character on the show was shaped by Larry, except you. That I think that's why he gravitated you initially. Leon was your character. You created it, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yep. But it's one of those things also, I feel like it's the character, but it's also timing. It's a bunch of different things that really go into how I got on that show, you know. It took just things, man. My wife told me I was going to be on the show. It took me, not being renewed at SNL. It took all these little things that happened. It took me going to LA because a friend had passed away. All these things had happened in that moment where it was undeniable that I was supposed to be in front of that, those casting directors and in front of Larry, improv directly with him. That happened. So all that had to happen that way. Although I did know, once I saw the script and the sides, I knew exactly who the character was before I even opened my mouth. Before I even walked in the room, I knew who the character was. But I also knew that, I'm a guy that loves to be in the moment, and I knew that I can, I go by rule of thumb is, you can, it's easy to turn up, it's hard to pull back. So I always go by that rule of thumb, you know, when it's very easy to adjust yourself.
But,
It's very
but you went in there as the character, though, right? You didn't enter like, here, my name's JP Smoove. I'm here to read for this. You went in as Leon and threw it at him.
Yep, I walked in there as a character. I walked in there as a character. That way, I was already in character. You can see my mannerism, you see how I speak, you see how I walk, you see how I do everything all at one time. And I went straight for the jugular vein. I go hard, man, because I know it's easy. I know it's easy to pull back. It's so hard to turn up. If you go in there low key
I
and they
love
say,
that.
"Oh, I need more, I need more," now you don't know how much more they need. You know what I mean? It's like you at a sandwich shop, and you say, "Man, that's all the meat I get on my sandwich." He put a little bit more meat.
But
Yeah,
you
they might keep putting meat on it to that
I,
sandwich piles to the roof. You don't know how much meat they're gonna put on it.
and the other thing I always tell people, two things when they watch Curb. When they watch you interact with Larry, there's a lot of one shots because I imagine you got Larry laughing and they're getting mad at you because he's going to screw it up if they go over
Yeah.
your shoulder,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Okay.
right, right. And then, and then that's that other lane, which is the stand-up lane. So now basically I'm performing in front of Larry and in front of the producers, so that's when the stand-up rhythm kicks in. Because we work off of, we notice you smirk. If you smirk a little bit, we know we got you. We know
Right.
you're intrigued by the premise. Because there's premise and
Well,
then punchline. So if I get you at the premise, punchline is pretty much easy.
and he never shared you with anybody. I don't ever remember you doing a scene with anybody else in the show other than Larry. What the hell was that all about?
They used to call me Snuffle Uppercuts. And Larry was Big Bird.
Man, we celebrate this show, and you had looked like when you were at the Emmys, you were having so much fun with it. And what's cool about you, I know you're just getting started. You can see it. You're just getting started, but you still honor and celebrate and understand what an amazing moment you were in.
Yeah, man, you have to, man. We provide something for people, man, to make them happy, and I think that's so important, man. To understand what entertainment truly is. You know, people think of it sometimes as a lottery, or somehow you got lucky. No, we really provide a service, and I think people do. It's therapeutic. If you don't laugh, if you can't find a way to find happiness in something you do or something you give people, what's the
Right.
purpose? What's the true purpose of it? So I think but it goes both ways. Therapy goes both ways. It helps people who are watching the show, but it also helps comedians who tell true stories and they reshape them to make them funny and manageable. It helps them too, because now they can deal with what they're dealing with, but they're sharing it. It's a sharing thing with people, and I think it's so important, man, to get that laugh out your system and let you see someone else's perspective on life, because life can be as serious and as hard as you make it, and as easy as you allow it to be. So laughter is that true journey that you need. You need to be able to hear someone else's struggles in a different way, and I think that's that filtration system that comedians have. We can take anything and make it crazy, make it funny.
So the one thing, Sunday night again, soundboarddetroit.com, JB Smoove, and I always appreciate talking to you. But so in your career, the track of being a comedian and acting and everything else, do you ever think about a serious role? Do you ever think about maybe you want to pivot that way, or are you staying in, is staying in your lane an insult to somebody?
No, no, I'm
No? Okay.
definitely going to be doing a bunch of different things. You're going to see some
Yeah.
great surprises this year. I can't wait, because what is that base that comedy and drama? They are one. They are one. That's why you see that comedy head and that drama head together all the time, because comedy is drama. It is drama. It's based in drama, so that way the comedy of it can merge, you know, um, flawlessly with the drama. They are
But
one.
well,
So
that was Bernie. Bernie Mac could tell a story and you would
yeah,
be sucked into it. You had no idea how long the story was going, and he would just take you along with it. And you knew it was real-ish, but it was just an amazing story. That's what made him such a great comedian, a great person on stage.
storytelling is what is fueling the industry right now. Look at all these
Yeah.
amazing shows they have on Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and Apple TV. These are all fueled by storytelling, which is storytelling turned into great writing. Thus this amazing Emmys that we just saw. We see these amazing shows. I was really impressed by a few shows that I watched that I was happy they won. Baby Reindeer at the Emmys was, you watched that show, you laughed, but you also were like, woo,
Yeah.
wow, this is crazy. And to see them win like that just shows you that it's storytelling. Storytelling that's it.
The
It's
bear. The bear, you're either stressed out or laughing, but there's no middle ground.
There's no middle ground. Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And then you got the true comedies, and they're doing amazing too, and they're starting to merge a little bit. The comedy and drama is truly starting to merge now, and I think it's a different genre that they should create for shows that are not fully comedy and not fully drama. I think
Right.
there should be some kind of category created so that there's well balanced there with the true comedies and the shows that are comedy dramedies. They need to have a dramedy category that's separate from drama and separate from comedy. So they
I
are
always felt I'm with you because I always felt MASH after about halfway through that show was as much a drama as it was a comedy by design. The way a show evolved, that made it
comedy
even more powerful. Yeah.
comedy should be a category, because there's no way to fully satisfy the comedic ear with the dramatic ear. It's very hard to satisfy both, and you got to create a separate category, because otherwise you lose a lot of great comedies who
Yeah.
won't be nominated because there are shows up there that do both. And so there should be a balance there, so everyone can get their shows seen and also get their you know, categories correct, and these amazing comedies can get nominated also.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sunday night, I
Yeah.
love it. Soundboard Detroit. I could talk to you all day. JB, I love talking to you. What
Oh,
did you keep
you can go all day. You know how we do. We can go all
on?
day. We
You
go all
make
day.
me think. I tell you, man, what did you keep from Curb? Did you take a prop or anything? Did you keep anything from the show?
Oh man, you know what? I did take all my Leon necklaces. You know,
Nice.
Jay, the Ruckus, that's how I do's it. All those amazing necklaces. And that was my idea like a few seasons ago. I said, you know what? Let's put Leonisms on his chain. And then the fans started seeing them and they would zoom in on their TV and they would take their camera and zoom in and say, oh, he's wearing the Lampin one tonight,
I love it, man. And then Spider-Man 2, I mean, that to me, last thing I'll say about it, that's another thing where
Yeah.
maybe you didn't have a ton of lines, but you made a meal out of it. When
Yeah.
you were on camera during one of those, man, you had some fun with those scenes.
Man, have some fun, man. That's the things that you know how it is in TV and film. Half that stuff is on the cutting room floor. They cut. They got to cut a time, all that stuff. The story got to be told a certain way. But when they first called me about doing Spider-Man, man, the first thing I asked them was, "What are my powers?" That's the first thing you got to ask. So anytime Marvel calls, you got to ask what my powers are. Because you assume when they call you, they're gonna give you some powers. You want everybody to have powers in Marvel movies, right? I want some
Right.
powers. Jeez, I wouldn't
Well, what do
mind.
you want?
How about they bring me back as Plastic Man? Remember Plastic Man?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
see,
Soul
like
brother,
now
soul brother
the
punch
guy
Plastic Man. Oh,
the guy comes out to me and goes, first thing everyone's like, oh, you can stretch your fingers and feet and stuff. I'm like, screw that. You know exactly what I want to stretch just to see how big it can get. Come
come
on,
on,
I'm a
man.
guy,
Come on, man.
right?
Come
Yeah.
on, man. You know what it is.
You're the best. Hey, JB, continued success. We'll stay in touch. And Sunday night here in the Motor City, soundboarddetroit.com.
It goes
Got to
down.
come see JB Smoove.
See everybody. I can't
All
wait
right.
to see everybody.
You're the best. Nothing but the best to you.
Yeah, yeah. See you soon.
Thank you, bud.
Later.
Thank you, bud. Thank you, guys. You're the best. Have a
Thanks so
great
much,
day.
Jim. That was
All
awesome.
right. Thanks,
Great.
guys.
All right,
Have a good
Pete.
one.